Hello, Matt. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Yeah, how you eating?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good, I always say this, but busy. But busy is good.
Okay, right. So, I have a topic for you this week.
Love it.
I'd like to talk about logo construction grids.
Goody.
Yeah, like exciting, right? Right. So, I mean, this is something that I found quite interesting because it's what I think is kind of like performative design.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you what, let's go right. So the whole thought of this episode came from Giro's the bike brand, the latest rebrand, which is lovely, covered on brand new, lovely stuff for Armin. But if you just pull that up,
yeah, okay.
So okay, right. So you can see what this is, right? So basically, it's a lovely artist sketch explaining how this logo works. But I don't know who it's for.
Okay. Look, I know you're going to talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say one thing. I kind of agree. It's like, when... Do you know what? It's when you see those brand Bibles and stuff, and you can throw them in a river about this, but when you see those brand Bibles, and it's like, oh, we've designed this logo for you, and then they've got like... why are you looking at me like that?
I'm surprised you look at a brand Bible. Sorry.
It's fair. But they have these big Bibles and it's go, oh, we designed this logo and it shows how all the use is. And I get that. That's useful because you don't want it to be like plastered randomly. But it almost feels like they're just sort of doing it. It's almost like, I'm going to sound awful, but like fluff. Sort of like, oh, look what we did to all these things. We'll make it all these things. But really, it's just like a circle. And
it's like... it's interesting, right? Because this ostensibly is a lovely logo. I think it's a really interesting logo. I mean, it's weird, it's odd, it's interesting, and the brand itself is great. But I just don't know why we see this because it's like, who's it for?
I mean, I quite like it. I do quite like it.
It's not for the consumer.
Yeah.
It's not for anybody else. It's just for designers.
Yeah. Okay. Design for design. Okay.
So it's designed for design's sake, right? And as an internal thing, great. This is how we've come up with it. But do other designers need to see it? And this is why it's performative graphic design.
So okay, just a little thing. Those? It's like when you get those posters of like they'll like do a show like an airplane, and then they'll show it's like a painting. It's really amazing, but then they'll show like the internals, the airplane, so where the passengers are and all that stuff, and you go, wow,
that's interesting.
It is interesting.
This is like, I mean, not all designers are nerds, right?
Yeah.
Right, at different levels. Everyone's a nerd, regardless of what you say. You're a nerd if you're a designer. And this is just like I don't get. Just let's bring another one up, okay? Let's bring up the this Deliveroo one by Design Studio. So again, this is for the Roo of Deliveroo, and why do I need to know what the angles are?
So wait, can I just where you so.
So this is on brand new again because I've just been trawling through that.
Well,
so it's just showing you how it kind of comes to life. But this here is irrelevant. Why do I care? And what interesting is when people put angles on things. And this is when I know that I'm not saying I don't quite like the Delivery brand, just to be clear. But like when people put angles on stuff, it's normally because they're going to introduce some kind of angle related to the logo later on, which to me is one of the laziest design conceits ever. It's like, hey, look, we've used the angle from the logo to create this thing of new progress or like innovation. But it's like an angle isn't innovation, motherfucker. It's like it's an angle, unless it's related to the triangulation of the sun reflecting off your spaceship or something like that. It's not. So why does this need to exist? Who's it for?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, do you find it helpful? Does it make you like it more? To me, it feels like it's like behind the curtain. But when you look behind the curtain, it's not very exciting.
It makes me like it a bit less, if I'm honest, but that's just me. But I think it's like, might find meaning where there isn't meaning, and it's for me anyway. It's like, it's just, and there's going to be someone looking at this, although if anybody ever looks at this, will say, but there's, the symmetry and the depth of it is pleasing, and it's like, is it really? And it doesn't really, and then, it's the layman, so what?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing. I think it comes from somewhere, from where way back when, before computers were even older than we are. Is the idea of like you draw something and it would have a construction, because normally you'd be like machining it out of stuff or doing something. So if you pull up the apple on that, here, So there is
Big
reason
boss.
why these but there is reason why things exist, because this is like for machining and for like getting putting onto the hoods of laptops that we have. There is a reason for this kind of diagrammatic approach, but on mainly screen-based stuff, why do I need to know what the angle is?
Do you think?
There's no correlation between the two. It is just performative design. It's designed for other designers.
Do you think do you lose a little bit of the when you work so deeply in something, you've been looking at something for too long, you kind of lose a bit of the flavour of it, it just becomes too factory, too mechanical, and it's like actually the essence of the real idea. Like I like drawing quick ideas.
Yeah.
I like quick ideas. I think they're good, and because a quick idea, I like moving on to another idea quickly, because actually I think that's super creative. And then okay, refining it and stuff. But I think it almost, the more you do this, more it loses its original essence.
Yeah,
I could say that, maybe.
Well, I just think it's like, if you're a designer, it's pretty obvious how you've made that logo. Like where you have a bit of mystique, bit of
I agree. I don't like agreeing with you, Gareth.
I know.
I don't like
It's probably the first we've actually agreed on, but I think there is something in that which is interesting. I mean, a special shout out goes to anyone who involves using the golden section. In anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I don't have an example here, but there are legion, and that idea that, and especially when people use it, it doesn't follow the golden section. That's probably my favourite.
Yeah. Do you know? I will say, when we were students, only a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
We got those. I remember we all had to buy that big book. There's a big book about branding, where we had to go a few.
Yeah.
I think I opened it twice, to be honest, and I was just like, I had all the golden ring stuff, and it's like, again, I mean, maybe I should have done, maybe make me a better designer, but I just think sometimes you just lose it all by being so mathematical and stuff like this.
Well,
I still think it's good. Don't get me wrong. I think them logos are really nice.
Math makes sense, right? We've chatted offline about this, but when Google redesigned their logo, they made it so
I like that.
So it was mathematically correct, so it could be sized to any size, to have the smallest file size and everything else. Now that kind of nerdery, that kind of processing is interesting.
It's a great
idea. And that to me is more like seeing the cut through of the plane. I used to love seeing racing cars, stuff like that. My dad's like a Formula One savant and has like pretty much there's so many books about it. But like he's a nuclear engineer, and so a lot of his interest is in no, he didn't cause Chernobyl. And I thought I'd get what people say to me as a kid. Like, did you have that called Chernobyl? I didn't know. I know it was a popular thing when I was a kid. I mean, like, again, that's how we know. But seeing something that's been coded or cleverly made to present something, I think is interesting information, because that is something that to me is interesting. This is just fluff. It's like a nipple tassel for design. It's got very little purpose.
There's the one for the back of the book.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's what it is. It is like a nipple tassel design. It just feels like it's not even as exciting as a nipple tassel. What it does is it just says, haven't we done something clever and correct? It's like, yeah, you have. Well done.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But yeah,
I do like the logos.
Yeah,
the logos.
The logos are fine, but it's just, does it really do anything apart from tell other designers that you're clever?
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the thing I find interesting about it, and that's why I think it's performative, because it's not for anyone. It's just to kind of say, haven't we come up with something quite clever? And if it's a good logo, it doesn't need that.
Okay, I think we're about time. I just want to say, always try and end on some positive spin on it, just to say something positive about it. I would say, okay, that's cool. At least it's, I suppose, doing all this stuff does make it more pleasing to the eye, I suppose. The symmetry is nice.
Oh, no, but this is the thing. It does make it more pleasing to the eye, but if it doesn't have any relevance to the end consumer, then what's the point?
True. So not positive, but that's fine.
Well, it's, like the logos we looked at are good. They're good. But it just feels like something that is like a lot of designers feel the need to like the pressure to self-promote and do all this other stuff. And if we're going to do an episode on mock-ups because there's a lot to talk about that.
Yeah.
But like all brand case studies now feel like they're just like squeezed full of stuff because people want other people to look at it. And it's like everyone needs to make everything move. And motion design can be absolutely transformative, but a lot of it just makes bang average design look a bit more whizzy.
It's like I just call them the magpies, just going after the shiny things. But anyway, that's an episode for another show.
Okay,
thanks very much, guys. Subscribe if you want to. You need it.
Click like.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.